story was obviously puzzling, so it will be told again today, but with a completion that might make it easier for us to make the relationships between what the characters represent for us. But first of all, we have to go back to that question that's been asked of you, or what is the relationship between the auric field and this state of quiescence, this place where nothing is touched really. It's just that presence, that attentiveness, or stillness and movement if you want to bring it down to that. Many years ago there was participation in a workshop, and after a period of meditation one of the group was placed against a white wall, and they were asked to, with their thoughts, project an emotion, like think of something very sad or think of something very happy, and then in the end to send light out to everything. And all of us who were participating in it were very clearly able to see her aura and the changes that took place with the states of mind that she projected, which to me was irrefutable evidence of the effect that our minds, the energy that's put out by our minds, is placed into the chemical field of our aura or our electromagnetic field. So we can then say, or looking at it from my own experience, that that auric field is a result of the chemistry, and the chemistry is a result of our thoughts. But there is something now in us that's not touched by our thoughts, that's there always. It has nothing to do with mind. It's that state of attention and presence that's there for us, because it's the need to do, the need to heal has all been stripped away. Now perhaps this story, which is in relation to this question, might make a little bit more sense to us with that little explanation. Let's see. It's a Tibetan story about 3 young boys, and they were called Jingmei, Wachap, and Dersang. Now Jingmei was the son of a king. He was a prince and lived in a palace. And Wachap was the son of the richest merchant in all the city. So he also lived palatially, with a bevy of servants to take care of him. But Dersang was an orphan. He had no parents. He had no one. But despite the disparity in their backgrounds, the 3 of them were very good friends. They played together every day. But one day Jingmei said, "I'm sick of playing in the palace with all the toys and being entertained by all the courtiers. Let's go out into the forest." So the other 2 boys readily agreed, and off they went into the forest. Now as they were walking through, they noticed that there was a rocky outcrop with a ledge with a tree growing out from the top, and in the tree was the nest of a raven. So they said, "Oh, let's make a game. Let's gather some stones and knock that raven's nest down." Well, they went off and they all gathered rocks in their robes until their pockets were full. Then they came back, and then Jingmei said to them, "Now look, let's make this more than a game. Let's make an oath. Let's make an oath that we are not going to leave this forest until we knock down that nest." So Jingmei said, "I make this oath that I'm not going to go back to my palace until I knock down this nest." And then Wachap said, "Yes, and I make an oath too that I'm not going to go back to my house until we knock down that nest. And so did Dösang. So they started pelting the nest with rocks, but they couldn't budge it. A few little twigs came falling down, and after a few hours, Jingmei said, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this. My oath doesn't mean anything. I'm the son of a king. Oaths come and go for me. I don't have any truck with that. He said, I'm going home. So off he went. But Wachak said, I'm staying. I'm going to keep my oath, as did Dösang. So for several more hours they kept pelting the nest with rocks, but they could not knock it down. Well, it was getting to be dusk, and Wachak said, oh, what that silly old oath. My servants will be worried about me. They'll be coming out to look for where I am. I'm going to go home. Silly old oath, anyway. So Wachak was about to leave when Dösang said, well, you know, Jingmei is the son of a king, and it's easy for him. He has a palace, and oaths really don't have any great purpose in his life. And you, the son of the richest merchant in town, have a bevy of servants who care for you, so you don't have to be concerned about promises and such. But I'm all alone. I have no one. All I have is my word. I'm going to stay here until I knock that nest down. So Dösang kept throwing stones until his arm was about to fall off. By this time it was almost night time. So he sat down to think what he could do, when suddenly, from behind the tree, from out of a little aperture that the boys had not noticed, came an old man with a long white beard, and with surprising agility he clambered down the side of the rock face, grabbed Dösang by the neck and threw him on the ground, and 3 times knocked his head against the ground until Dösang was breathless. And the old man said, I've put up with your shenanigans all day, you 3 nasty boys throwing stones. He said, I'm Nagarjuna. I'm a hermit, and I've lived in that cave for the last 20 years, and never have I been disturbed by 3 nasty boys. But then all of a sudden his tone changed, and he looked at Dösang and he said, oh, you're a young, able-bodied soul. You may be able to help me. If you do, we have the possibility to save many thousands of people. Are you willing? And Dösang readily agreed. I will do whatever it is that you tell me to do.